could view the totality of this evidence in this case and come to any other conclusion. Her actions were controlled, methodical, deliberate, intentional, and purposeful. This was not reckless driving. This was murder.
Welcome to True Crime US, your source for the latest updates on criminal incidents that capture the nation's attention. Today we dive into the chilling story of Mackenzie Shirilla, a woman who took the lives of two friends by crashing her car into a wall at 100 mph. The collision was driven by the emotional turmoil of Mackenzie's love life, reaching a breaking point. In a moment of desperation, she made a fateful decision that would forever alter their lives. Shortly after leaving a party with her partner, Mackenzie's car collided with a factory wall in Strongsville, Ohio, at a devastating speed of 100 miles per hour, causing her boyfriend and another friend to go away forever. Subscribe and hit the bell icon to remain updated on the latest developments in this case and other compelling stories of crime and the pursuit of justice. Mackenzie Shirilla was born in 2004 in a place called Strongsville, Ohio. Her mother's name is Natalie Shirilla, and she has a sister named Danielle Shirilla. We don't know a lot about Mackenzie's dad because she hasn't talked about him much. But her mom, Natalie, has shared some memories about Mackenzie's father, John Stephen, on social media occasionally. Even though we don't hear much about him, he's a part of their family. Mackenzie Shirilla had a boyfriend named Dominic Russo, and they both went to Strongsville High School. They started dating around 2021, and you can see pictures of them together on Mackenzie's social media. Sometimes Mackenzie and Dominic would hang out with a 19-year-old friend named Davian Flanagan. Mackenzie's relationship with her boyfriend took a dark turn, becoming increasingly tumultuous, toxic, and entangled with substance abuse. They frequently argued, and Mackenzie became upset when she did not get what she wanted. She developed a sense of entitlement, expecting Dominic to comply with her demands without compromise or reason. The situation escalated to the point where friends had to intervene during a fight, physically separating Russo from Mackenzie's vehicle. Witnesses overheard her making threats to crash the car with Russo inside, while others mentioned her threat to damage his car unless he allowed her entry into his family home.
Is it that you key my car? Tell me to break the door.
Key your car and you do not let me in the house.
You're going to key my car
If you don't let me in the house, yes.
Russo, deeply disturbed by Mackenzie's overpowering control, went to great lengths to avoid her at school. He even resorted to turning off his communication devices outside of school hours, hoping to escape her annoying stalking. As their toxic relationship continued to deteriorate, Mackenzie's desperation reached a breaking point. She even contemplated ending both Dominic's life and her own as a way out. In an effort to execute her plan, Mackenzie managed to get back with Dominic. She pleaded with him, promising to relinquish control and allow their relationship to thrive without her excessive influence. With cautious optimism, Dominic agreed to give their love another chance, believing that Mackenzie had genuinely changed and that they could rebuild their connection. To celebrate this event, Mackenzie invited Dominic to a small party hosted by a friend. On Saturday night, July 30th, 2022, she drove a Toyota Camry to pick up Dominic to go to a party together. Contrary to their friends' speculations, Mackenzie and Dominic engaged in cheerful and lighthearted conversations, free from any arguments. They even made plans for their future, filled with hope and optimism. There, they also meet Davian Flanagan, Dominic's best friend. Throughout the course of the night, all three of them even engaged in using marijuana. At around 5 a.m., Mackenzie woke up Dominic, signaling the end of their time at the party. Surprisingly, Davian also requested a ride, as his house was on the same street as Dominic's. This request deviated from Mackenzie's original plan of having a private moment with Dominic, but she agreed nevertheless, and the three of them decided to leave together. Shirilla turned slowly onto Alameda Drive from Pearl Road, and then floored her 2018 Toyota Camry down the 3/4-mile street until it reached 100 miles per hour, according to surveillance video and data from the car's computer system. Given the early hour on a Sunday, the industrial park they were driving through would typically be quiet and devoid of traffic, aligning perfectly with Mackenzie's intentions. Shortly after making a turn onto Progress Drive, Mackenzie abruptly jerked the steering wheel, alternating between right and left. She pressed the accelerator to the floor, and within a matter of seconds, the car collided with the brick exterior of the pipeline repair building at the end of the road. The airbags deployed just moments before the vehicle jumped the curb and crashed into the business. This tragic incident occurred at approximately 5:30 a.m. on July 31st, 2022, at a 250,000 square foot building within Strongsville's Progress Drive Business Park. Approximately 45 minutes after the collision, a passing motorist noticed the severely damaged Toyota Camry and immediately called 911. When police arrived, they found Russo and Flanagan dead, and Shirilla trapped in the driver's seat with a fuzzy Prada slipper stuck to the accelerator. Mackenzie was transported to a hospital and received multiple surgeries. Allegedly, emergency responders discovered magic mushrooms and a digital scale in Mackenzie's pocket. Additionally, she tested positive for THC in her blood above the legal limit under Ohio law. However, the Strongsville police and Cuyahoga County prosecutors chose not to charge her with driving under the influence and instead pursued murder charges. Furthermore, Mackenzie faced charges related to a separate incident on July 19th, where she was accused of breaking into the Columbia Church of God in Columbia Station, Ohio. She was charged with breaking and entering, vandalism, and desecration. On November 4th, 2022, more than 3 months after the collision, Mackenzie was arrested and faced multiple charges, including 2 counts of aggravated murder, 4 counts of murder, 4 counts of felonious assault, 2 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide, drug trafficking, drug possession, and possession of criminal tools.
I have received an offer from the defense, and my supervisors marked this file. The state's proposed resolution of the case would be for the defendant to plead guilty to counts 3, 4, and 11 as charged. Counts 3 and 4 are both titled murder. They are murder B under 2903.02B. Count 11 is drug possession of felony of the 5th degree under 2925.11A.
After her conviction, a disturbing TikTok video resurfaced in which Mackenzie arrogantly boasted about her perceived invincibility, saying,
"I'm not even cool. I'm just one of those girls that can do a lot of drugs and not die."
She doesn't hesitate to party with friends, participate in cosplay festivals, and film dancing videos while using marijuana on TikTok. It is deeply troubling that she shows no concern for the deaths of 2 friends. This behavior is genuinely insensitive and shameless. Mackenzie's TikTok account is now private. Mackenzie faced trial in August 2023, but this was no ordinary courtroom drama. It was a bench trial, where the fate of the accused rested solely in the hands of Judge Nancy Margaret Russo. In a courtroom filled with anticipation, Judge Russo delivered a verdict that would send shockwaves through the community. With unwavering conviction, she declared,
This was not reckless driving. This was murder.
The judge went on to emphasize that this wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. It was a calculated act. Mackenzie had chosen a route she had traversed just days before, a path far from her regular routine. Evidence from Mackenzie's own cell phone revealed her proximity to the business park a few days prior to the catastrophic crash.
The video clearly shows the purpose and intent of the defendant. She chose a course of death and destruction that day. Exhibit 802 crystallizes the deadly decision-making of the defendant. She morphs from a responsible driver to literal hell on wheels as she makes her way down the street. Mackenzie alone made the decision to drive the car, to drive an obscure route, a route she visited a few days before, and a route not routinely taken by her. Mackenzie alone chose the time to make the drive, early in the morning, when any reasonable person would expect that few people would be nearby to witness it or offer life-saving assistance.
Evidence from Mackenzie's own cell phone revealed her proximity to the business park a few days prior to the catastrophic crash.
So we had played some audio evidence that we had received from the victim, Dominic Russo's family, that involved a cell phone that Dominic had used a week or 2 prior before this incident to record a very heated, tumultuous argument between himself and Mackenzie. These recordings were left on the cell phone, we believe, and recorded by Dominic.
Assistant Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Tim Troop added a chilling layer to this narrative. He alleged that Mackenzie's motive was driven by a tumultuous relationship with Russo, which had soured over several months. In Troop's view, the victim, Flanagan, was merely an unwitting passenger, caught in the crosshairs of a deadly plot. Flanagan, Troop asserted, was nothing more than innocent cargo in Mackenzie's sinister scheme,
He observed at that time the defendant striking Dominic Russo with both hands, and that he overheard her make a statement, an admissible statement, and she said, "Dominic, I'm going to crash this car."
Prosecutors strategically seized on statements Mackenzie Shirilla made weeks before the tragic crash, using them as pivotal evidence in their case. Among these statements was a video capturing a heated argument between Mackenzie and Russo, during which Mackenzie threatened to damage her boyfriend's car.
You're threatening to key my car, threatening to break
I
the
will
door.
key your car if you do not let me in the house.
You're going to key my car if I don't.
If you don't let me in the house, yes.
She threatened his property. She threatened to break into his house.
Correct.
As Mackenzie lay in the hospital recovering from the aftermath of the crash, doctors noted her expressions of grief, guilt, and shame. Prosecutors painted those statements as evidence that Shirilla had consciousness of guilt.
Patient stated she, open quote, wanted to die, close quote, and that it was her fault for killing her boyfriend.
On the other side of the courtroom, her attorney, Jim McDonnell, argued that it was natural for drivers involved in fatal accidents to feel remorse, but that didn't automatically label them as murderers. He contended that the prosecution had not presented sufficient evidence to prove that Mackenzie had intentionally crashed her car, as opposed to losing control, a peril all too common among teenage drivers. Throughout the trial, Mackenzie's defense team passionately asserted that the crash had been a tragic accident, emphasizing that she had lost control of the vehicle.
But it's a significant force.
Among many others.
Is it just kids being kids? Is it Dominic grabbing the steering wheel? Is it Mackenzie maybe speeding and say, "Oh my God, park out, it's late, I'm coming up to this, I better do something," and she goes like that to avoid an accident, not acting purposely, but in fact trying to avoid it? Is it sudden acceleration, panic? Those are all possibilities.
In a bid to bolster their case, they called upon Mackenzie's mother, Natalie Shirilla, who testified that her daughter had been diagnosed with postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, a condition that could cause sudden fainting if sodium and hydration levels dropped too low. It was a potential explanation for the accident. However, prosecutors countered this argument with surveillance footage showing Mackenzie driving in complete control just before the collision. Cuyahoga County prosecutor Michael O'Malley confidently asserted,
"The intent was obvious upon seeing that video that there was only one goal, and the computer demonstrated that there was no attempt to slow down or stop, that it was full speed into a building, and tragically it cost 2 people their lives."
In a tense courtroom moment, prosecutors presented evidence from the car's black box, confirming that Mackenzie had floored the gas pedal and made no effort to brake before the devastating crash.
So I think it started with the video evidence that we had. We had a video of the actual impact of the crash. We had a video about 59 seconds before that, the impact video that you're showing, that showed the defendant driving in a slow and controlled manner using her turn signal. And then there's another video about a quarter of a mile away from the crash. At that point, she was already going 98 miles per hour. She had made up her mind and was on a course that she never turned back from.
Finally, on August 16th, Mackenzie received her verdict, one that would forever alter the course of her life. She was found guilty of 4 counts of murder, 4 counts of felonious assault, 2 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide, 1 count of drug possession, and 1 count of possessing criminal tools. The mandatory life sentence loomed, with the faint possibility of parole after 15 long years. As the verdict was handed down, Mackenzie sobbed at the defense table, casting incredulous glances at her family, unable to fathom the gravity of the judgment. We're committed to keeping you updated on every development in this case. Be the first to receive breaking news by clicking the like button and subscribing to our channel. Your support fuels our dedication to delivering timely information. Farewell for now, and we look forward to connecting with you again soon.